I've been buying books, so that does mean I need to get rid of some by my own sort of rules, because there's a lot of books I own that I haven't read yet, so we're going to get rid of some to make room for some ones that I'm more excited for. So I have a reasonably large stack here today, and the first one I'm going to talk about, let's just get straight into it, is Boy Meets Hamster by Birdie Milano. Quite a lot of these books I'm getting rid of are LGBT books featuring queer characters, especially gay main characters. It's not because they're bad, and it's not because anything else, other than I'm not going to reread them. I went through a stage where I bought a lot of LGBT contemporary fiction, which was great at the time, but I don't need that in my life anymore. I want to see these characters in more stories that I'm more interested in, like fantasy, sci-fi, all that kind of stuff. So this is one of the contemporary gay books that is going, Boy Meets Hamster. Similarly, If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. I can't remember whether I even enjoyed this. I think it was alright, it was fine. Didn't really think anything of it ever again. So why am I going to keep it? I don't need it in my life. So this one can also go. This one, The Music of What Happens by Bill Konigsberg. I really enjoyed Openly Straight by Bill Konigsberg, and I believe I was disappointed in this one. I think I gave it 2 stars, and there's no reason to hold on to a book that I did not love, and it's another gay contemporary that I don't need, so this can go as well. Similarly, 1500 Miles from the Sun by Johnny Garza Villa. I don't remember anything about this book, but I know I've read it. I couldn't tell you whether I enjoyed it or anything, but it's just another forgettable gay contemporary book that I don't need to keep on my shelf for no reason. Especially as I don't actually have my shelves up at the moment, so these are all living in boxes. So I don't need to keep them in these boxes because other books need to fill that space, unfortunately. So this one can go as well. Next one, Golden Boys by Phil Stamper. This has a sequel, believe it or not. And I don't care. I read it, it was fun. I didn't enjoy all the perspectives, so I'm not going to pick up the sequel. It's just another gay contemporary book that's going. You're going to hear that a lot. State of Us by Sean David Hutchinson. Gay contemporary book that I've already read that I don't need to keep. If I was going to read a Sean David Hutchinson book, I would reread one that I really enjoyed, like We Are the Ants. So this can go as well. Do I have more? Oh, I do have more. Love Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I prefer the film to the book. This can go as well. Autobiography. This one I remember adoring. I love this book. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. But I'm not going to reread it. This is what I have to get in my head. I'm not going to reread it. This can go as well because as lovely as it is, it's not going to be reread. So someone else can get some pleasure out of it. Then I think, have I almost got through all of them? Yes. I have The Friend Scheme by Cale Dietrich. I didn't finish this. I hated the first. I actually made it reasonable. I made it 160 pages in. I was like, absolutely not. I cannot carry on. I could not stand the writing style. It was not for me. So maybe someone else would enjoy this a lot more. Then another one that I'm a little bit sad about is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This was good. I did enjoy this. It's a bit like a thrillery vibe. But, it's got coloured pages and everything, but I'm not going to reread it. There's 3 companion books in this series that I'm also not going to read. So why am I keeping them? There's no reason to. Goodbye, One of Us is Lying. And then I have Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the sequel trilogy to The Raven Cycle, and I loved The Raven Cycle, and I have kept those, and I think I will reread them at some point. But this one is not going to be reread because I don't care anymore, unfortunately. This follows Ronan, who I always really loved as a character, but not enough. It's not enough to make me want to keep it and read the trilogy, unfortunately. So for now, Maggie Stiefvater and me are done, I guess. Goodbye, Call Down the Hawk. Next, I have 2 books, which I'm a little bit sad about again, and that is And I Darken and Now I Rise by Kirsten White. I have read And I Darken. I did really like it. I did really thoroughly enjoy this book. But I never picked up the sequel, and it's not like this is hung in my mind as something I need to reread or read the sequel of, so as great as they were, I'm not going to finish the trilogy, because there is a trilogy, and I just can't. So I'm afraid for now, these two are going. These two I might hold on to, but I'm not sure, so we'll see. But at the moment, they are going. Then I also going to get rid of The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. This was like huge for like a brief second of splash in the world. I've read a little bit of the audiobook. I got bored. So as fun as it would be to probably read it, it's just another gay... This one's gay historical, I guess, but I don't care. Like, I don't need to read it, so I'm not going to. I'm going to focus on reading gay books that are more my speed, which is why I've got things like Luck in the Shadows and really like a gay sports one, so I've got Icebreaker, but I'm just not going to put myself through this one, I'm afraid, this time, so goodbye to this one. Non-fiction I'm going to get rid of, Queer City by Peter Ackroyd. This is a non-fiction all about gay stuff in London, and I'm just not going to read it. I don't read non-fiction. I don't know why I bought it. Bought it. I don't know why I bought it. So this can also go. And then the last few are doubles. So I own these books. So before anyone has a fit, I'm getting rid of some of the Cirque du Freak books. I've got Vampire Mountain, Vampire Prince, Tunnels of Blood, and The Vampire Assistant. There is a couple more, but I can't remember which ones I'm getting rid of really. But I own the bind-ups for this series, and as lovely as these editions are, I don't need to keep 2 copies of these books. I love this series. It is a book series that I wish I had multiple copies of, but it's not Percy Jackson, and I think Percy Jackson is sort of the series that I'm going to have multiple copies of, so I'm just going to not do it with this one as well. So unfortunately, some of these books from the Cirque du Freak series are going as well. But that is my unhaul. Hopefully I won't be doing another one of these for a while and I'll have sorted my books out enough. But we shall see. Until the next video, adios.